Okay, so there's this channel on YouTube called TYT Nations. It's hosted by a guy, I might be butchering his name, Jeff Waldorf. Waldorf. I automatically assumed it was German and pronounced it in a German dialect. Oh fuck me. I mean, to be honest, you wouldn't look at my last name and think Irish. But anyway, so he posted a video today called "They Refuse to Lie for Trump, so Wilbur Ross threatened their jobs." Now, I will link the video in the description, and basically, he's absolutely right about 99% of the things he says. Trump is such an egotistical narcissist, and he can't ever admit he's wrong. He did the whole Sharpiegate thing, and also people disagreed with him, including people who forecast the weather and shit. But Will Ross is like, you will agree, the dog from Looney Tunes, you will agree with the president or you will lose your job. They should have stayed in bed. Basically, he is basically Jeff Waldorf, however you say his name. Jeff is basically right about 99% of his video. There's 1%, however, where he's wrong, and that is the extent of political correctness. Now, he says this in the video.
Republicans are incredibly hypocritical when it comes to political correctness. Now they think PC culture, by the way, is people stopping them from using the N-word. They desperately want to scream the N-word from the rooftops. They just do. I don't know why. I don't have that desire. But they think, no. You're preventing me from saying the N-word. How dare you? PC culture. Political correctness gone amok, run amok.
So while Jeff is right about Republicans being hypocrites about political correctness, I mean, it's a Republican Party. They're hypocrites about everything. Obama makes a deal with Iran, they attack him for it. Trump makes a deal with tries to make a deal with North Korea, and they praise him for it. They're just partisan hypocrites. What he's wrong about is basically simplifying political correctness to being you can't say the N word, which is not true. 2015, 2016, 2017, I was awake during those days, and oh my gosh, straight white men were expected to walk on eggshells for every single body with the fragilest of feelings. Ugh. You couldn't say anything without being called a racist, sexist, Islamophobe, transphobe, homophobe, just whatever phobe. Oh god, it was disgusting and horrible. Just we were supposed to walk on eggshells for minorities. Even though they got to say horrendous shit about us, but we couldn't say anything back. Like, for an example, for many examples I'm about to give, after Carrie Fisher died, Steve Martin made a nice tribute tweet about her, saying that when he first saw her, she was beautiful, and then he got to realize she was pretty and white, and he was forced to take it down because he was commenting on a woman's body. You know, and then there was Hillary Duff being forced to apologize for coming up as a pilgrim at a Cowboys and Indians party, and then Chris Hemsworth dressing up as something, you know, and being forced to apologize, and then Chris Brown dressing up as a Taliban being forced to apologize. And also you got a idiot like SJW trans activists saying that if you misgender someone, that's an act of violence. Yeah, if I call a trans woman him, all of a sudden his arm's gonna be broken or something. And also, feminists saying, if a man corrects you, it's mansplaining. If a man sits with his legs a little bit open on a public subway to make himself feel comfortable, it's manspreading. I actually saw a post where it said that farting in front of a woman is rape. And also, specifically BuzzFeed, there was a video. They did some in 2016. They did some racist videos called questions this minority has for white people. And one of them, it was Native Americans have for white people. One of them is basically saying, "Why don't you just change the name of the Washington Redskins?" Oh, I get it. You're not offended because it doesn't apply to you. I've got two rebuttals to that. Number one, they actually did a survey and it turns out that 9 out of 10 Native Americans actually don't give a shit. Sticks and Stones. Look up Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones special. Also, number 2, and that is there is something that I could be offended at, but I'm not. And you ever heard of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish? I don't pay attention to sports, but I know about it. And their mascot is a leprechaun, in this, like, the I'll punch you in the fucking face. But you know what? I'm not offended by it. You know why? Because I don't care. Because I have a thicker skin than that. It doesn't offend me. Sure, it's basically labeling Irish people as drunk or violent leprechauns, but you know what? I don't care. We've been dealing with that stereotype for possibly 800 years. Who cares? If you get offended by that shit, that's your problem. Now, I respect TYT. I respect the people associated with it, except for Hassan Piker. He can go fuck himself. But the thing about TYT is they tend to ignore the SJW fringe of the left. They're well within their rights, and they take their time to criticize the corporatists, but they don't criticize the fringy SJWs. Now they might from time to time, but they usually don't. They tend to pretend that political correctness isn't out of control, that it's good, but trust me, it isn't. However, the rest of his video is good. It is basically pointing out that we got to protect the president's fragile ego. He's definitely all for political correctness when it comes to his feelings. The whole facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, well, Fat Johnny. Oh, someone said he was wrong and he can't admit it because he's such an egotistical narcissist. Political correctness is a horrible disease, whether it's from the left or the right. And we should never bow down to it. I want everyone to stay awesome, stay positive, stay progressive, and as always, may the force be with you.
It's hard for me to judge Trump. My Irish heritage makes me want to fight anyone who looks that much like a potato.